What's up, everybody? It's your boy Allan Wade, back again with another Silhouette Cameo 4 video tutorial type of thing. And guys, let's get into it. We all know that fashion is about creativity, about self-expression, about culture, and just a way to not only be fashionable, but also to display what's on your mind and what's going on. We dress how we feel sometimes, and sometimes we have to put that in our art, and that's when art takes meaning and has form and has meaning. So today, being as though everything that's going on right now with racism and rioting and everything like that, I thought it would be appropriate to put some of that in our work, guys. So this is the design we're going to be doing today. I'm going to jump in Silhouette Studio and show you guys a few quick tips that you guys can do to help simplify your workflow and your designs like that. I'm going to be using HTV, Flocked Htv. You guys can purchase some of that if you want. Amazon link down in the description below. I am an Amazon affiliate, so when you use my affiliate link, it helps the channel out a lot. And also, guys, you can go to allanawade.com and purchase this file for $1. Help support the movement, make yours, and rock the movement, guys. The best part about this design is you don't have to use Flocked Htv to do it. You can use regular vinyl if you like. You can change the colors around and make different, you can get fun with it. You can put your flavor into it. So let's jump over to Silhouette Studio and let's see what we got. All right, guys, so we are over here in Silhouette Studio Designer Edition. Guys, I have a question for you. If anybody can tell me the difference between Silhouette Studio Designer Edition and Silhouette Studio Business Edition, that's the question of the day. So let me know in the comment section, what's the difference between Silhouette Studio Designer Edition and Silhouette Studio Business Edition? Let's jump back over here. All right, so we got our design. It's nothing but like a stop, the stop circle with the slash, the circle with the slash in between, and some text. All right, so what I want to show you guys was, this is a fun little thing that you can use, like right here, the modifying tool. Let me X that out. So if you look over here, you see that the racism, like right now, if I printed this out, right? If I printed this out, I would have the whole word racism, right? And then I would also have the circle with the slash going through it over top of it. So first layer I'd have to press is the racism, the word, and then the second layer I'd have to press is this on top of it. And sometimes when you do that, you'll get like a little bumps from the other letters and the other thing below it in your design. So if you want to avoid that, I'm going to show you a real quick, easy trick that you can use to get rid of that, just a little portion that the slash is going over. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so in Silhouette Studio, you're gonna go and highlight both of the objects, or all the objects that you have on your screen, okay? First of all, one thing that we can do, let me show you guys a trick real fast. So say if you have this highlighted, you can go ahead and press bring forward, and it will bring this text forward. With it highlighted, you can also push backwards and send that to the back, and that's what we did, all right, to get it to kind of like layer it up. The other way to do that is to just make the text first and then create this this layer. But whatever you make first is going to be the thing that's on top. I mean, yeah, whatever you make first is going to be the thing that's on bottom. When you make it second, it's going to be the thing. It's just like Photoshop, except you don't have all the layers displayed on the side like you would in Photoshop, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to make a cutout of the word right here. So we're going to highlight everything, both the text and the let's call this the circle with the slash to stop. And then we're going to go right over here to open the modify panel, and then we're going to go to subtract all. Okay, now click on subtract all. These are tools, by the way, that you guys should play with to see what they do. But subtract all is going to be one that you probably use a lot. Subtract all and weld probably. So subtract all, we click on it, and then we click away. And right now, we're just going to see what it did. You don't see anything right now, but if you click on this one layer and you move it to the side, you see that the text part, the part of the text where it would overlap is gone. So Command Z to put that back in place and flip it horizontal. And get ready to send it to press, guys. All right, so we are good to go with this. The one thing you want to pay attention to is how much of these little driplets we're going to be missing. It's honestly, you know what? Honestly, I think I'm going to make this text right here. The text part, I'm going to make regular red vinyl. And this part right here, I'm going to make the Flocked HTV, because Flocked HTV, cutting this out right here, and that's something you want to pay attention to. When the machine cuts this out, trying to peel back Flocked HTV, I'm going to lose a lot of these little dots right here. I'm going to lose a lot of them anyway because they're just too intricate for the machine to see, for the Cameo to see. But most likely a lot of it might be kept because the regular vinyl is easier to cut than the Flocked HTV. You guys know what I mean. But so yeah, let's get the Silhouette Cameo ready and let's send this to cut and see what happens. All right, everybody. So I have my Flocked HTV right here, and I have some red regular vinyl. And with my Flocked HTV, like I said, what I like to do is I like to go ahead and see which layer. This is my carrier sheet right here, so I know I want to cut on the actual material. So shiny side down, dull side up, just making sure of that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and lay my Flocked HTV on my cutting mat because, as you guys can see, we got that curved effect going on. So we want to make sure we cut the actual vinyl and it's not rolling all about. All right, lay that down, turn on our Cameo, feed it in and send it to cut. I'm going to show you a different method that I use, that I'm going to use to cut the red part too. All right, so just another, give you some more ideas of some things that you guys can do. I know you guys are interested in seeing how good of a weed this is, so let me see it. I hate when it curls up like this. I know I said it before, but let's see how good of a weed this is. Where's my weeding hook? It's right over here. Let me grab it real fast off camera. All right, guys, here we go. Okay, so we don't need this part right here. Weed's good. Look at that fuzzy Flocked HTV. That Flocked HTV looks so good. It's like you want to use it to make something else with it. That's a huge part of HTV that we're not using right there. All right, so that came out good. And this right here, just weed this. And that's why we take 2 passes, because this material sometimes can be hard for the Cameo to cut. All right, so looks good so far. And that's going to give us, the reason why I have this cut right here is because I had previously used this part of this in another design, and I stopped it, as you guys can see. That's why I had that little cutout right there. So what I like to do, guys, and a secret that I'll tell you guys right now is, sometimes when you're working with vinyl, right, where is my, all right, you're going to want to get your X-Acto knife, because sometimes when you're working with Flocked HTV and other HTVs also, the machine will cut it, the Cameo will cut it, and when you go to press it, you'll have some of the other design. Like there's a black line right here on the edge, and when you press it, you'll have a black line. So what I do sometimes is I cut around the perimeter of the actual object so that I avoid picking up any other pieces, any other elements that I don't want in the design. Okay, so it did shift just a little bit during cutting because of how small the piece of vinyl was. So I'm just going to get those little small edges off so that it doesn't ruin my design. And we're going to go ahead and cut the other part. All right, so let me get some red vinyl and put it on to the cutting mat, and then I'm going to show you guys a trick of how I cut the red vinyl. How I'm going to cut the red vinyl. Show you guys a real quick trick. In Silhouette Studio, let me show you guys what we're looking at right here. All right, so I sent this thing to cut, and I just had a simple cut turned on, and it went ahead and started cutting everything. It's still going to be complicated for the Cameo to cut all these little lines right here, but we're going to see what we can do to kind of clean that up a little bit, but you kind of want to maintain all that ruggedness. First thing we're going to do before we forget is I'm going to change the material because I'm using regular vinyl now. I'm just going to use my Sizer Easy Weed settings, which is 3 for the depth, 6 with the force, 3 for the speed with 1 pass. And I could even change that to 2 passes, but I'm just gonna, yeah, you know what? Let me change. It's always good to have, why not? Put it on 2 passes, all right? So now we're going to go up here and go from send to design, all right? Oh, and before we do that, also, right here from simple, we're gonna go to fill. And that's what I was talking about. We should have just selected the black vinyl to cut, but we had both selected, and that's why it started cutting out the red. So I'm gonna uncheck the black and just have the red selected now. So next time I send something to cut, it's just gonna cut out this part, the red part, all right? So let's go back to design. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the circle, I'm gonna move it off to the side, and then I'm gonna select this layer, and I'm gonna move it up here. I'm gonna kinda like straighten it out just a little bit. I'm gonna bring it right here to almost the top area, and then I'm gonna cut it just like that. That way I don't have to use a whole sheet of vinyl, you know what I mean? I can go ahead and I can, let me see, should I even do that? Let me see, I'm gonna Command Z, I'm gonna undo that, undo that, undo that, undo that, undo that. Okay, so I'm gonna do a different method actually. I'm going to move this, but I'm gonna, do I wanna do that? What I'm trying to debate, guys, is if I wanna, when I'm pressing it, and this is something that you guys have to think about. When you're pressing it, do you wanna press the red on first, or do you wanna press this part on first? As it stands, I would press the black one on first, and then I would press the vinyl on. But I'm thinking maybe I wanna press the red on. So if I wanna press the red on, you're probably going to wanna use a whole sheet. So you know what? Let me just do it the way I want to do it. I'm just going to go ahead and do it this way. I don't want to confuse you guys, so let me just do it this way. And this way I'm saving vinyl. I'm putting it around right here, all right? And it's already reversed. I'm going to go to send. It's going to send just the red. And I got my Flocked HTV. See that? It went back to Flocked HTV. So make sure you change that to the right type of vinyl that you're cutting, which mine is... I'm gonna use my sizer easy bead setting and change that back to 2 passes, and we're ready to go. I'm just gonna put the vinyl on here and we are going to send this to cut. Now what I'm doing right now, guys, is I'm cutting a piece of my red vinyl, and the funny thing about it is this grid right here is a reflection of this grid. So the squares, if you lay them on top of each other, they're pretty much the same size. So when you buy a cutting mat, this is called a cutting mat too, but when you buy a cutting mat that you cut on, make sure you get one with the grids on it, because this and this is the same. All right, so little tip right here. All right, another tip for you guys. So I can go ahead and I looked on Silhouette Studio and I see it's cutting from 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 squares to be safe. All right, 4 squares down. So I go here, 1, I'm lining it up, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna cut off right there at this line right here. Put my hand right here. I go ahead and put my ruler down. Let me slide this over a little bit. Count 4 down again. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put my ruler down, and that is where I'm going to cut straight down. And go ahead and cut this red vinyl. And I just got one little piece that I'm going to use, and it's about 10 squares across. All right, 10 is right here, so I'm going to cut it at about right here on the 11 mark, just to make sure I have enough. All right, and the reason why I'm cutting this is just because this vinyl is too long. This vinyl right here is too long as it stood. See, it was going to be too long, so it was going to come off the sheet on the side. I don't want that. So that's why I was cutting this down. This is one of those long rolls right here. So now I'm going to once again take it off, and I'm going to tack it down onto the thing right here, onto the cutting mat. And I'm gonna make sure, I gotta make sure this stays down. I don't want it moving all around like the last one was. Okay, so this goes shiny side down, and as you guys can see, it will stay down like this. So let's go ahead and load up our Cameo. Tilt the camera up so you guys see that. Load them up. Boom. Match that up. Load it up and send it to cut. and after that we will weed it. All right, got everything good, everything selected. This is going to be interesting to see how this cuts, guys. Let's see. It has to make a bunch of little small intricate cuts. This is going to take a while, guys, so I'm going to let it do its thing. I'm going to make a phone call, chill out, and I'll be right back. I'll try to time it and tell you guys how long it takes. Right now the time is 6:15. It's 6:15 p.m. I'll tell you guys how long it took. Alright guys, so the time is now 6:35. That was a very, very long stitch out. And if I sound different, guys, it's because that my lav mic ran out of juice and I have to charge it up. I have to charge up the rechargeable batteries, and I normally have some rechargeable batteries off to the side, but of course I can't find it. That's the devil trying to stop me from making progress, guys, but the devil will not stop us, guys. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to let the batteries charge up, and I'm going to show you guys how this weeds. As you guys see, it has a lot of intricate cuts on here. I'm going to see how much of this stays and how much of it goes. So let me show you guys this weeding process, and I'll be right back. So, see, this thing keeps on rolling back. I can't stand it. It's so annoying. So I'm just gonna make the necessary cuts like I told you guys to make sure this line on the side doesn't come across in my when I press. So I just cut it like this along the side and cut that side part off too. Alright, and I'm gonna do the same for this side. Why not? Alright, so when you're doing this, you no longer have a flat edge to kind of like eyeball to use to straighten up. Alright, so you're just gonna have to use it by eye when you lay it down on your shirt. Alright, also there's some material right here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this out too. Yeah, there's some material right here stuck on this vinyl, so on the carrier sheet, so I just cut that little part out too. Alright, so now for the fun part, pressing it on. We have our heat press over here, and it is all should be pretty much heated up for the most part and ready to go. So let's press the first part. Alright, so I got my white shirt right here. I'm just gonna lay it down on the press. The heat press is actually still heating up. It's only about 212, but it's okay. If you want to lay vinyl down, that temperature should be fine for just laying down the first piece of vinyl. Alright, it's gonna be difficult to do. I'm just gonna press to get out the moisture and to get out the wrinkles and stuff like that. And then this is the hard part, guys. It's not that hot. I definitely gotta wait till it heats up some more, but in the meantime, okay, so see how I'm gonna do this. So the slash is gonna go this way, right? So the racism has to go like this. All right, so we gotta be careful how we lay this down. Of course, this is going to go about this much away from the neck. So the racism is about, sheesh. Just getting stuck on here. This is a whole mess, guys. All right, so let's hypothetically lay this down. All right, so I'm gonna say that this is the center of the shirt, and I'm picturing it in my head, and this part is going to go about right here with a slant like this. All right, so let's say we put it right there, and then this is going to go about right here. So we don't want it to be that slanted. We want it to be like kind of like this. So I'm gonna have to twist this a little bit. Line out a little bit like this. All right. So let's see. And And I know you guys know an easier way to do it. You guys can tell me, yeah, that looks fine. That looks good to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it like right here. So I like the angle that it's on. So yeah, it's pretty much in the center. So I'm gonna go ahead and press this one right here. Just go ahead and press it. Let me look at it one more time just to make sure. Yeah, the way it is. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm gonna press it, guys. Even though the vinyl, the heat press is not heated up all the way, pressing it. I'm gonna give it a full press since, like I said, the press isn't heated up all the way. Let me get my carrier sheet, my Teflon ready right here in the background. All right. I'm gonna, instead of a 15-second press, we're gonna give it a 30-second press since the press isn't heated up all the way. And I think it should be fine. All right, so 25 seconds. Let's see if it comes up. Let's see. If not, then I'll just press it again. Yep, comes up pretty good. But I'm gonna press it again because I saw a dot come up with it. So I'm gonna press it again. Don't press with the heat press not heated up, guys. I'm gonna give you guys some horrible examples here. Horrible examples. Don't do as I do, do as I say. Yeah, I think that's how it goes. Don't. Yeah, that's it. You guys can correct me down in the comment section. Don't do as I say, don't do as I do as I say. That's how it goes. But yeah, this design, guys, if you want it, AllanAwade.com, $1. Nice and inexpensive for you guys. All right, just gonna go ahead and peel it off. There we go. Looking good. Got a few little pieces that stayed on there. That's probably due to the heat press not being heated up all the way. Now I do have to make it heat up all the way to put this on because this is no way, shape, or form gonna go on without the heat press being heated up. All right, I got it right on the edge right there, so there's no gap. Looking good. And I am gonna have to lay down the sheet over top of it because of this little cutout right here. If I didn't have this cutout right here, matter of fact, I can put that, no. If I didn't have that cutout right there, I could just press it straight like that, but I'm gonna put the Teflon cover over there, and I'm gonna press it. I'm gonna press it twice since the heat press is at 300 right now. 300 is pretty good. It's pretty fine for a press. So I'm gonna give it a 30-second press. Then I'm gonna take it up, and I'm gonna give it another 30-second press, and then I'm gonna let it cool off a little bit, and then I'm gonna peel off that because this when you work with a certain type of vinyl, you know what it requires to adhere to the shirt. All right, so right now it's good if I peel it off a little bit, but just to make sure, I'm going to press it one more time for 15 seconds, as a matter of fact, because my press is heated up a little bit more now. I really need to get a new heat press, guys, to be honest with you, but this one works fine. It works like a charm. I've had it for so many years, and it still worked like a champ. Like, heat presses, guys, heat presses, they like, I don't know about other heat presses. I've heard horror stories about heat presses stop working and certain elements not heating up and stuff like that. I've never had a bad experience, but I've only had one heat press. So, you know, so I'm gonna let it like fan it just a little bit like that, just to cool it a little bit. Still laying on the press. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start to peel. And here we go. Got the Flocked Htv on there, looking good. Got the anti-racism message right there, looking good. Let us move this out of the way so we can see what we got. I think it looks good. So here it is, guys, in all of its glory. I think it actually looks a little bit like the Ghostbusters logo, to be honest with you guys, in real life when you're looking at it. Looks a little bit like the Ghostbusters logo. But let me zoom in so you guys can see. There's a slight, tiny little gap right there. Slight, tiny little gap. But it doesn't matter as long as you can tell what the design says. Sometimes imperfections give your design character, okay? So what you guys have to realize is this is unique, And this slash could actually be symbolic of the word racism being literally torn in half and destroyed, all right? So just because it has that gap in there, that could be actually be a design element. Sometimes mistakes add to the design. Sometimes, like I've had instances where I've made something and then somebody asked for it and I remade it and it came out a little bit differently. It might have been better, in my opinion. It might have been better, but the person's like, oh, I wanted it like I wanted it like you had yours. Like, so somebody might actually want it like that. You know what I mean? Because that's the way they saw it. And I love the way the flock is like a material. So now we have a design where we mix Flocked HTV with regular HTV. Only thing you got to remember is you can iron on this, but you can't iron on this. So what I advise you to do is if you make it like this with Flocked HTV and regular HTV, make sure you lay something over top of this when you go to iron your shirt out, okay? Because it's a regular HTV mixed with Flocked HTV, and it looks great. If you're still having difficulty understanding what Flocked HTV is, it's fuzzy. That's the best way I can describe it. It's not like regular vinyl. It's like a material. It's like cloth. Fuzzy cloth, as opposed to this stuff, which obviously looks like regular vinyl, right? You see the little reflective right there, but when you get to the flock, I don't know if the camera's capturing that, how good the camera's capturing that, but it's fuzzy. All right, so yeah, there you go. You can see right here how it's actually like a cloth type of material, HTV. That's why it's so good to work with, guys. I love working with this stuff. I think it looks great. It makes it look, I don't know, it just steps it up. It steps it up a whole bunch of notches, in my opinion. So, all right, guys, that was fun. Didn't it feel good to make that? It's gonna feel even better to wear it and support the movement, guys. It's your boy, man. Thank you guys for watching. If it's your first time here, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe once again. Go to the merch store, allanaway.com. Buy yourself some channel merch. Help support the channel, guys. I got some real interesting new things coming up. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure your post notification bells are rung and you are staying tuned, guys. If you want to see some more of me, go over to instagram.com/adubbproductions, facebook.com/adubbproductions, facebook.com/King A-Dubb, and follow me on all my social medias. I'm going to start posting on Instagram even more than I post now. But yeah, I think that's about it, guys. See you guys on the next video. Peace.
Turn up that, crank it up. Why listen to the rest when you're rocking with the best, baby?